You think of credit cards, do you automatically think credit card debt? In this video, I want to talk about how I'm able to use credit cards without going into debt. And if you use this strategy, you will be able to get credit cards and be able to get points, cash back, and rewards without going into debt. Let's get into it. So, y'all, we've been talking a lot about credit card utilization and me being able to use my 14 credit cards without having debt and how I'm able to use the credit cards and not pay no interest on it. Well, in my last video, I had got this comment stating using debt to pay off debt is like trying to lose weight eating pizza every day. And so I'm like, y'all, really? Why you gotta bring pizza into this? That ain't even right. Because I'm just like, on the one hand, if you do it the right way, you might could eat pizza every day and not gain no weight. Because I know this man, well, I don't know the man, but I had saw this video where he had ate McDonald's. I don't know if it was for 30 or 90 days, and he had lost weight. So even in that, if you use a certain kind of strategy, you can do it. So I really want to talk about my strategy on how I'm able to use credit cards and not pay no interest or get into any debt using credit cards. Because I'm just like, what credit cards got to get a bad rep? Because I love using credit cards, but on the same hand, with us or with people being in what $1.7 trillion in credit card debt, but it's like credit card debt, auto loan debt, student loan debt, it's all up. But it is a way to be able to, have credit cards and not have debt. And so that's what I like to talk about in my video. So you'll have to let me know in the comments, are you one of the people that possibly think if you have a lot of credit cards, you have debt? Or are you type of person that feel like you can't have credit cards without having debt? Now, I'm not going to say that I haven't had my fair share of credit card debt, but in the past, I want to say maybe like 5 or 6 years, I haven't had any credit card debt because before I had about $11,000 in credit card debt. But once I start using these strategies, it's like it's been real good because I like to be able to use the points, cash back, and rewards to be able to travel and stuff like that. And this year, I've already been on 2 trips, Vegas and DC, and I use points and cash back for my hotel and my flights. And I'm going to Chicago soon, and I use points for my flight. And then later this year, I'll be going to Puerto Rico, and I think I'm going to be able to use points and cash back for my flight and hotel, but I will keep you posted. So let's get into it. So the first thing is with credit cards does not automatically equal credit card debt, because the only thing is if you use credit cards, but you pay it off by the due date, then you're not paying interest on it and you're not accumulating any debt. So that's why I'm just like, on the one hand, just because you use credit cards, it doesn't mean that you are getting and accumulating debt. And so that's what I like to do. But the number one thing that we have to do to be able to not accumulate debt is by doing a budget, because we want to know how much we have coming in compared to going out and how much we have left over. So the number one thing that we have to do is, how much does it cost for us to live month to month? So this month, how much does it cost for you to live? So how much is your mortgage or your rent? How much are you spending eating out? Like, how much did you spend? So possibly you can get your credit card statement or your bank statement and write everything down to see, well, how much am I spending for my expenses and all of that? And then how much am I bringing in and how much I have left over? And so that's like the number one thing, because really you can use your credit cards like a debit card to where you are using your credit cards for all of your spend. Because I want to shout out to Ike, because he was telling me in the comments that he paid all his bills by the first of the month using his credit cards. Because I was saying in my video that pretty much by the 15th, I done paid all the bills using my credit cards. But there's like 3 things that I pay every month that I don't use my credit cards, but I'm going to try to figure that out. So there is a way for you to be able to do it, but you have to know what expenses can you put on a credit card versus expenses that you can't put on a credit card. So be able to see what you can and can't, and then see with the money that you have coming in, is it going to pay off everything that I spend on the credit cards? Now, the second thing is, how can using credit cards be able to increase our credit score. And so when we take a look at our credit score, it's made up of 5 components. So we have our payment history, our credit card utilization, our length of credit, our new credit, and our credit mix. And for sure, with our credit card utilization, that is 30% of our credit. But if you're trying to increase your credit score, you have to tackle your credit card utilization. And really, all that is your debt. So if you have a credit card that's $1,000 and then you have spent 500 and that's what you let report to the credit bureau, then that means you have a 50% credit card utilization. And usually if you have a high credit card utilization, then banks and credit unions are gonna feel like, well, this person can't handle their debt. And so one, they're gonna approve you for low limits, and then two, they might not even approve you either way, so it's going to be hard for you to get credit. So that's why it's important to be able to use credit cards the appropriate way. And then third, my favorite, to be able to get points, cash back, and rewards by using your credit cards for all or most of your spend, but not paying interest on the credit cards. Because if we're able to use our credit cards and then pay them off, if we get the points cash back, then we can use that to travel. You can use the cash back to, let's say, if you want to get stock or do other things, then that's great, because really you're using it on your natural spend, but you're paying it off. So that's the same as using your debit card like a credit card. But the ultimate and the number one thing is we have to understand our spending to know, okay, I am paying all these bills, but this is when I'm going to pay it off. And so I think that that's the number one thing to be able to do the budget, because really when we're using credit cards, we really have to be intentional. And I think once I had changed my mindset on credit cards, then that's how I was able to start using credit cards and not have debt. Because I really like Dave Ramsey, and I did Dave Ramsey some time ago. And so I had cut up the credit cards and I wasn't using credit cards for, a significant amount of time. But then after a while, I'm just like, you know what? I feel like I could use credit cards again. And then once I did it, it's like I never went back. But I feel like by me, doing my budget, understanding my spend, and feeling like I really didn't need credit cards, then once I got credit cards, it's like, really, I don't need credit cards, but I like credit cards because I like to get the points, cash back, and reward so that I can do things. But if we're paying interest on credit cards and then getting the points, then it's really like a break even. So I think that we should, use credit cards the appropriate way. And so I think that was the number one thing that I did by not using credit cards for a significant amount of time, for me to be like, you know what, I can do it. And so now I've been doing it for probably 5 or 6 years, maybe a little bit more, but I'll say 5 or 6 years for sure. And I just use my credit cards on everything except for maybe like 3 things, and then I pay it off every month. But you'll have to let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? And do you feel like you can use credit cards without going into debt? I mean, y'all, I got 14 credit cards and I've been doing this for a while and I do not have any debt. So let me know, what are you thinking? I hope that you found this video helpful. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when new content drops. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time. For a way to keep track of your monthly budget, well, check out my 2025 digital budget planner. I posted it on my Etsy shop. You can go into the description and click on the link. In the budget, you have goal setting, you have a monthly budget, a debt repayment, you have a savings tracker. So check out the 2025 digital budget planner on my Etsy shop. It's not a game.